Ready?
Hey. You hear okay?
Yeah, but I was surprised I could hear it all. Is that normal?
Nope, that was me with the speaker still. And I'm leaving all this in because welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, a video game music podcast, episode 20-8. We are your hosts. My name is Rob Nichols.
And I'm Purnell.
And this is our 200th episode.
And as you could tell from that intro, we're just as professional and as, I don't know, error-free as we've ever been.
Yes, we do everything perfectly every time. And it's incredible that we've done it for that long.
It's true. It's a lie. But we're having fun the whole time.
Having a good time. So yeah, last week we did a bonus beats episode, which was just me sort of just self-indulgent drum and bass. It was only like half an hour, not even a half an hour. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I just needed like a week to kind of get things together for this show, which really is it going to be like, really? They needed an extra week to do this? But you're not my dad.
That is true. And honestly, it was mostly Rob because I've been so tired, like always tired, that I haven't even, like he's like, we got to do 200. I was like, yeah, we should do 200. And we had all these ideas. We were talking about something we we're going to do. And then as time kept passing, I was like, I need to sleep more. And he's like, you want to do it next week? It's like, yes.
Yeah.
It gives us time to think longer.
So tonight you should be caught up, right?
No. I am not. I have been frustrated, but also consistent with trying to defatten myself.
Yeah, you've been really pushing, and it shows.
I don't notice, but I'm glad other people do.
Yeah, you can see it in the pictures. You see it in the pictures online, too.
Well, like...
So if you see pictures online of Purnell, let him know. Let him know he's looking good. He's looking sexy.
If you're not lying.
Yeah.
But I will say this, though, and then I'll stop rambling. We can talk about 200 stuff.
Okay.
Is that one thing I can state for anybody who is listening to the show who might tell themselves, this is like, and remember, early edition.
Yeah. Actually, we're going to cut out the and remember part.
Just put it here. If you're at home and you're having that scenario where you're like, I could do better than this. I need to work. I need to do anything. But then you come up with reasons why you shouldn't or you can't. Or you just don't feel like it or whatever. I'm going to tell you, you just got to start and you just got to keep moving. You can't rely on anybody else but yourself to do it either. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to join you. You just have to do it. And I'll say this. When you I don't know why this happened, but when you start seeing piles of sweat pool on the floor and you know the sweat came from you, it does something. It makes you want to make the puddle bigger. I don't know how else to explain it. I see it and I go, I can do better than that. And the worst part is I wear glasses, so that usually means I also can't see.
Yeah, I have the same issue. I love that. Purnell Vaughn, make the puddle bigger.
Yes.
On that t-shirt.
I'm sure someone's going to totally take that out of context.
Oh, man. All right, so I'm going to turn this track down. First of all, I'm really proud of you, and I think that's great. And it's good advice for anyone listening who wants to keep going, especially because we're not just people who play video games. We're people who play video games and are obsessed with retro games.
Yes.
So we end up spending a lot of time on our butts and not moving around. Mm-hmm. So it's really important that we move around.
And I didn't start slim either. I was at 300 pounds. So
yeah, that was. Yeah. So now where? I don't want you need to say on.
I can say it. I'm not ashamed of it. I started at 300. Now I'm at 260. Actually, no, 258. Last I weighed.
That is great.
So this all happened this year. So it wasn't even a matter of like, well, you've been doing this for like 12 years.
2019. So 2020 is going to be like the year, right?
That's what I'm hoping. I got a lot I still need to do, but I started, and that's what matters.
Yeah, I think
most.
that's good.
So,
all right. So 200 episodes. We reached out to
200 glasses of tea.
Dude, that's a lot of Monster Energy drinks.
It wasn't always Monster. There was tea.
There was tea. There was a lot of tea.
This is just going through the closet surplus.
I'll have to brew some tea later. But so we have some. We reached out to people and we said, what were your favorite parts of the show? Like, what were the things that made you laugh? That made you want to come back?
What made you cry?
What made you cry?
Drama.
A lot of people just came back and said that they like just hanging out with us. They think that we're just really two cool people and we just talk really well and they just like to hang out.
We say we were two stupid dogs. I'd have been really upset about that. I like two cool dudes.
Two crude dudes.
We never use a crude thing on this show.
But some people did actually have some specific moments of the show. So we're going to intersperse them throughout the episode today. So the first one, I am going to start with, I think the one that made me laugh when I heard it again, because I completely forgot about it. This is from Daryl. This is from episode 17-4,
okay.
Patreon Tea and Biscuits.
Oh, that was I would say it was a recent one, but I guess even still 17 is a while back, too.
It's a while back. And this is all about the game collections that we miss. So let's give a listen real quick.
The heck?
That was Lascard's Skywalk from the game Arc-Rise Fantasia, composed by Yasunori Mitsuda for the Nintendo Wii. And I don't know, man. It's like music that you tell a really sad Christmas story to, you know?
It makes me kind of wonder what that actually plays at during the game, because it sounds like a dungeon theme.
I think this sounds like a dungeon theme to you.
No, I mean the title of it.
Oh, the title, yeah. But it sounds like the opening. Or like the love between two characters, but
the love between a man.
They have to part ways.
No, the story about a man who sold his game collection for an inferior console. I was wondering where it was going to go. And the longing he felt as he desired more than anything to reacquire said collection. But the realization comes that the game collection market has priced all of his games into oblivion. He will never have that collection again.
Never again.
This is amazing. Again. But he'll always have the memories and the feelings and the thoughts that he experienced while he played those games. There was Earthman eating a hamburger from inside of a filthy trash can. Chrono Trigger going to the Millennium Fair.
Once those games
fighting a giant robot with a toy sword for some reason. Why would you do that? Magic Knight Rayhearth, based on an anime that you had never actually seen. But boy howdy, did you enjoy running around with those three girls with toy swords beating the tar out of cartoon monsters. Shining Force 3, a wonderful strategy RPG that I adored to death, but returned to the store within 10 days because I was allowed to. Never got 2 and 3 as actual official releases in the United States. Why, Sega? Why? I don't understand. This is great. Games I want back.
The games he wants back.
But the money's not there.
But we are broke.
So sad.
He's broke.
I just want my game. But yes,
right,
that's the kind of story you tell to a track like that. I want my games back.
That was a really long bit.
But it was a worthy bit because it's so true. A long Except for the Shining Force 3 part, because I did get it back by trading away a copy of Albert Odyssey for it. And then I got that game back 10 years later on an Anime Central panel.
So you had a happy ending at the end of that, right?
It really did. And that was hilarious. And the best part about that, when we're listening to it now, one is that we get to recall it. Right, and two, we don't rehearse or create anything on the fly. I mean, on the spot. We don't rehearse or prep it. That was just like random ramblage of the greatest type.
Well, then, and then the spirit of improv. We'll do one more before we get into some music, and then we'll have some more moments. But this is some R&B singing, and this is I didn't write down the name. Someone asked me for some R&B singing, and they couldn't remember the episode. And I found it. This is from episode 5-6 from Magical Knight Rayhearth.
Which actually was also in the last clip.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's right. I remember like seeing that. Be like, oh, that's crazy. So here we go. Did not want this to end. This is one of my favorite songs I think I've heard on the show.
It's a jam. And honestly, the entire soundtrack
Is This Good? It's composed by, let me see what I wrote down, Yayoi Wachi and Siren Okamoto.
Yeah, Saru Okamoto.
We're terrible. But hey, we're trying, and that's what's important.
Yeah, no, this is cool. It's such like a 90s like R&B jam, you know? Like I'm imagining like a group of dancers in the music video.
Yeah, now I got to do it. Hey girl, what you doing up here?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let's come out. Here we go.
The labyrinth in the sky.
Here we go.
Hey girl, what you doing here? Hey girl, labyrinth in the sky. Hey girl, what you doing here? Are you lost without me? Are you lost without me, baby girl?
This is going to happen. I'm going to write it. I'm going to note to self, write song with this beat. You're going to kill everyone who is listening to this. They can't hit. No.
Labyrinth in the sky.
Oh no, this is perfect. This is like it's like Janet Jackson. No,
Could write a song over this beat.
this is a Paula Abdul jam. So I can't believe that one didn't end up on my our first anniversary like top 10 hits, because that song is, I hear that now and I'm like, that's awesome.
It's so, well, that's the thing. There's also tears. There are so many good, just great tracks. It's easy for them to get lost in the shuffle sometimes.
So those were both Magical Night Ray Earth.
Well, that was, but in the last thing when I was rambling that bit, I brought up the exact same game.
You brought up the game. Okay.
So I thought it was phrased like Magical Night Ray Earth, which was just referenced in the last bit too.
Oh man, so this is 20-8. So what we're doing is we're going to pick songs from episodes that we really liked. No, we're going to pick new songs for old topics.
There we go.
From the past 200 episodes.
It's kind of funny too, because I'm sure at some point it's going to happen. So, I mean, we're 200 episodes in. We're still dancing around. Should we repeat topics?
Well,
but
so my first track is from Rock Music, which we did twice.
There it is. But wait, what was one of them with a guest? Because that's usually what allows us to break the rule.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
It had to have been.
What? Hey, everybody, hang on for a minute. I'm going to look it up.
Rock Music. Was I know Rock? The first one was like episode 5- something.
Look at that. See, 11-9.
Rock Music 2 Boogaloo.
Yeah, just.
But at least we titled it 2.
We titled it 2.
That was one of the rarities.
That's right. This is back in 2018. I played a track from Cosmic Star Heroine, which is an amazing soundtrack. So I'm playing another track. This is Battle of Conflicts from Cosmic Star Heroine from HyperDuck Soundworks, who is Chris Geehan and Dan Byrne-McCullough. This is the Battle of Conflicts, which is the conflict of battle. It's the Battle of Battles, Purnell.
Conflicts, I have conflicts with.
From Cosmic Star Heroine, composed by HyperDuck Soundworks, which is Chris Geehan and Dan Byrne-McCullough. And that whole soundtrack is it's really good. But the battle themes, the really the rocky, the rock music type parts. It's like half rock music, half like prog metal, and it's got the saxophone at the end, and the keyboards remind me of old demo scene music, and so I love it. I think it's great.
I became a huge fan of that battle theme. I am unfortunately one of those people where it's like I started the game but didn't play as long as I could have, not because of a dislike, but because I picked the hardest difficulty. And it's bad sometimes when a game has achievements/trophies. And the trophy for the hardest difficulty isn't to beat the game on it, it's to win the first battle on it.
The achievement's to win the first battle.
Just win the first battle on the hardest difficulty.
Oh, on the hardest difficulty. I was like, oh, okay, is this like one of those gimme achievements?
That first battle was really tough on the hardest difficulty. You have to do everything exactly right, and even then, sometimes if you whiff, for example, you might just hang it up. You won't win. So after doing that, I kept going, and there was a point, there's just different points where I'd have to suffer for 10 minutes of retries just to get it right. There was a battle where you're fighting two helicopters where you're scaling a building. That one took me 20 minutes to win.
So you didn't finish this one?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not to say I won't. I think I need to go back and accept don't play on the hardest difficulty and just try it. And I bet if I just put it on normal, I'd kick its butt no problem.
So this is another theme of our show, 200 episodes of Purnell playing on hard mode.
Yeah, this is the impossible bandit. I can't stop myself.
I think we were in DC with all the other podcasters, with Gene and with Ed and Emily, and we were talking about hard mode, doing life on hard mode. Oh, and Chris Murray was there.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
I feel I almost think I want to say it was Chris Murray who coined the whole doing normal life stuff on nightmare mode.
That's one of the things I've been really enjoying about doing the show is that the listeners, the cool ones, they write into us.
Yes. So if you want to be cool, write in.
Yeah.
But
we love hearing from everybody.
You're also cool if you don't, but you can cooler if you did.
But it's so nice, and I feel like we've made real friends.
I agree.
Great, yeah.
It's and it's weird. It's a weird thing in that obviously I haven't shed blood with any of these guys or got in a street fight or anything crazy that would make the bonds the super bonds that you could say that we have in life. But with that said, I genuinely feel the regular communications and stuff that we have with regular listeners, people that just communicate with us.
Yeah,
I still feel they form a bond in and of themselves. It's a good bond. And it's definitely a bond that would not exist if we weren't able to even have this show and talk to people doing it.
It's we were trying to make friends in the laziest way possible. Let's just record something, put it on the internet. Let's see what happens.
See what happens. And then people were like, this is nice.
Yeah.
Let's write in or message in and say hello back. Yeah. And then we have the Rhythm Pistols game group, emails every once in a while.
Yeah, the
direct
website's
messages
doing good.
even.
Yeah, we have the newsletter. We have the fan magazine that goes out every month.
Oh, the fanzine,
yeah. We have the tour bus that goes through Wilmington, Delaware. You can see
it only circles 2 blocks though.
Yeah, you can see where we grew up, and you can see where we first met in elementary school. You can see where we went to prom.
Meet our favorite history revisionist.
That would be me. Okay, so we've got a lot more to get through. So what's your next track?
All right, so...
Or first track, rather.
This was, honestly, it was hard not just to choose tracks for this, but also to choose the actual topics.
Right.
There was just so much to dig into, and I feel okay with these, but let's just go with it and see what I got. The first one is probably one of the easier ones I think I'm going to go with, and it was episode 14-7, Memes.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
It was. Yeah. It's just a wacky concept.
That was a write-in. That topic was written to us by Alex Messenger.
It really was. Alec Messenger.
Alec Baldwin Messenger.
We did the episode on August 27th, 2018. For those that, just in case they didn't know, the whole idea was we would choose tracks from games that had memes develop around them.
Right. And
for this particular track, it's funny. Well, I'll name the track first and I'll go on to the gibberish when we come back. But the track is from the game Killer Instinct on the SNES. This is Glacius' theme, the little Iceman. He wasn't really little. He's actually pretty big.
He's pretty big.
Pretty fitting for the fact that it's freaking freezing outside. And composed by Graham Norgett. Welcome back. Get out of the freezer because you're listening to Glacius' theme from the game Killer Instinct, composed by Graham or Graham or whichever Norgett. I'm terrible with that name, but I'm okay with that.
I always forget like how good this soundtrack sounds on the Super Nintendo. Like it's really high quality samples.
It's a fantastic OST.
Sounds good, yeah.
It's honestly one of the first instances I can recall where someone offered up access to an OST, in this case Nintendo, with the Killer Cuts album.
So, oh, that's right, yeah. I think Mortal Kombat did that too. No, but Mortal Kombat was all like for the movie. I don't know why I always get Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct confused.
Honestly, I guess I can see why, because they were released around the same time, more or less. Killer Instinct came later, but Mortal Kombat on console. As I want to say, though, Mortal Kombat. Memory's rough here because I didn't really get into these so much, but I want to say this came out around the time Mortal Kombat 2 did. But I think Super Nintendo was the bastion for this game primarily, and though Mortal Kombat was released on both systems, I genuinely still mentally picture them both competing with each other. Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it was in Mortal Kombat, but there were two different developers because they wanted to get them out on Mortal Monday at the same day. But yeah, so why is this another meme song, or is this because we picked from Killer Instinct on that day?
Well, it's a meme, but I'll go on to the other thing I was thinking about in a second. But the meme for this, I'm not sure if the world at large ever used it, but my friend circle certainly did, in that if you were having, say, like a forum conversation or something along those lines, and someone was like,
yes.
I also like pizza. What do you like on your pizza? I like pizza with mustard. I like pizza with sausage. I like sausage with pizza with pepperoni. And one person will go, I like sausage with steak. And the next person goes, broccoli, combo breaker. Ain't no meat on this thing. Or they'll just say, I don't like pizza. And they'll go, combo breaker.
Combo breaker.
And it's like, that was a weird example of it, but it's usually a group of people commiserating on one thing, and then the one person that just shows up to shatter the entire thing.
That's awesome.
With that combo breaker line.
I can't believe I didn't think of that right away, because I remember seeing it was a meme of all of our American presidents, like right when Barack Obama was elected, and then there are all these white guys, and then Barack Obama. Combo breaker.
Exactly.
Great, yeah.
And it's funny because when I was trying to pick something for this episode with this topic in mind, originally I was trying to come up with a more recent meme for video gaming. And I realized that there weren't, I can't recall a ton that have dropped in recent months to year.
Yeah, there just aren't any memes anymore.
But
memes have just stopped.
Just forever.
Knowyourmeme.com is not a business. Hundreds of people have lost their jobs.
But I will say this, though. I did come across one meme that, honestly, it is like my favorite meme in quite some time, and I still reference it. But the problem is it wasn't for a game where I was going to pick a track from it.
Oh, I see.
So I figured I'll just reference the meme in and of itself. And that is one that's near and dear to my heart. You didn't beat it the right way meme, because it was hilarious when it propped up. The history behind it, to be real brief, is that back in April, there was a PC gamer guy who played through Sekiro, and he pretty much beat the entire game, but he cheated and used like a code for like invincibility or something to beat the last boss.
Oh my god, the response he gets on Twitter. Was it Twitter or whoever?
It was through Twitter. But the thing about it is, like, the reason why I kind of chuckled at the response mostly is because his original, like, descriptive to why he did it was, like, so whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
Do what you want. And it's like, I'm like, yeah, I usually play games high one too, but you could have just said to everybody, you know, I just wanted to do it so I could get the review out. I couldn't beat the guy. Yeah. Like, it's fun.
It's a hard game. But then the response
the response was perfect. He goes, a guy named Fetusberry, because, yeah, that's a good name.
Because, of course, that's his name.
He goes, you cheated not only the game, but yourself. You didn't grow. You didn't improve. You took a shortcut and gained nothing. You experienced a hollow victory. Nothing was risked and nothing was gained. It's sad that you don't know the difference. Now, that was the whole quote. Now, the thing I find especially funny about that, because I'm a person who, as we all know, loves playing games on hard difficulties and games that are designed to be hard. I want to go into them face first. But with that said, I would have never even thought to sit there and come up with a statement like that to respond to anybody who told me the game was too hard or they just couldn't stomach it.
And that it's sad that you don't know the difference between doing it the right way and doing it the wrong way. I think I've said this plenty of times on the show. There's no wrong way to have fun.
And there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's either.
Exactly, because Reese's are fun.
Dang right they're fun.
Right, so have fun.
That's right.
Play games to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or play games to talk about it on a podcast. Right, so
But wait, real quick. You got to finish the statement. So
sure.
The guy, people on the internet, the reason why it became a meme is because after he said that, people thought it was either a great quote or a hilarious one. Or both. So they started taking cheats from other games, snapshotting them and slapping that quote on, like, cheating in Mario 64 to get to the top of the castle while getting all the stars, or just using the Konami code. Yeah. Just a variety. Any cheat you can think of has probably been tied to this meme, and it's fantastic.
It's so good.
So
I love it. Like, you see the end of Mario 2, and it says, it has the whole quote written above Mario's head.
While he's sleeping.
Yeah. All right. So our next clip. This one was picked by Ed Wilson from the VG Embassy and formerly of Pixel Tunes Radio. Radio. And he wanted to pick a this was for between you and me. It took me a little while to find it. This is from episode 3-9, title screens.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. I think we did title screens twice.
No, there's no way.
No, maybe.
We did pause screens, continues, and something else.
And this is the Guardians Hero intro, and we talk about some 1990s sitcoms. And Ed thought it was so funny he had to pull over his car, and then he became a lifelong listener to the show. So here we go. This is from episode 3-9.
This thing, it gives you chills.
Wouldn't it be like? That'd be awesome if that were like the intro to Family Matters, where it shows you
Urkel and Carl fighting the kids.
There's Carl and his little intro, and then there's Urkel, and Urkel's smiling and waving, and then the second half of the song they're just beating each other up.
No, they're working together against the Urkel's evil arch nemesis from across town.
Because they're Urkelbot.
Yeah, Urkelbot goes rogue, and they're fighting against Urkelbot and his minions.
Right, because Urkelbot wants to live.
Yes.
So
Carl has his pistol, and he's shooting at all the clones.
Because Carl needs to protect the city, and Urkel...
And Urkel took a potion that made him super Urkel, and he's fighting stuff.
And he's racked with guilt for creating the robot that is going to destroy the city.
Yes, and of course, for some reason, he still cares about Laura, so she's there somewhere.
Yeah.
And, God, I hated Laura.
Yes, I did hate Laura.
And then, of course, Eddie. God, I hated the entire Winslow family.
You didn't like Eddie? Oh, who was Eddie's friend who was like...
Weasel was awesome.
Okay, so Weasel, right? He is a villain at first.
Oh, he converts.
He's working with Urkelbot, but you learn season 2 that Urkelbot was blackmailing Weasel.
That makes sense. He's holding his girl captive.
That's right. But you only find out after Carl shoots him at the cliffhanger.
I like this.
Does he survive? I haven't written season 2 yet, so
we're getting on this though.
We're getting on that.
The Family Matters action set piece, and the grandma would be a brawler.
Oh man, she'd be tough.
She'd be fighting with the cane, and she'd have crazy acrobatic skills.
Who was the aunt? The aunt.
Aunt Rachel.
Aunt Rachel would be like the one who's handing out the assignments, right?
Yeah,
that's right. She'd be running the show from a secret basement in Rachel's place. It'll be freaking slick, man. And then, of course, little Richie would be kind of helping her out. As she's doing her thing. God, Urkel, you're gonna give me a migraine here, Steve. I told you. Oh. Rescue the hostages, not do thousands of dollars in damage to the property. Jesus, I can't afford to keep bailing you guys out.
What was that? Carl, we told you to take down the Urkelbot, and you took down half a city block.
Well, if you wanted me to be more careful, you shouldn't have given me such awesome firearms to play with. I mean, geez.
Oh, Carl, we can't stay mad at you. So who was the one actress, the character who was in there like really short, like briefly?
Oh, the missing child.
The missing child.
Oh, that was Judy.
Judy. So she dies in like the second episode.
Pretty much, and then they all forget she existed by the third.
So in this imaginary buddy cop, like maybe superhero type drama that we're creating out of Family Matters, we're actually writing her off and not just dismissing her entirely from the show.
She actually gets written off.
We actually write her off, yeah.
So we're actually going to actually have that the characters remember her then as a reason for revenge.
Yo, maybe.
You killed Judy!
Give her a purpose, yeah, but not like Meg from like Family Guy where everyone just writes her off and makes fun of her.
Oh, no, you don't make fun of Judy.
No, you don't.
She had a tragic past, so we got to give her some credit here.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, we got to give her credit for our show.
Okay, back to 90s games. How about...
But not so much back to 90s games, because there is a continuation, because apparently it turns out that Judy wasn't actually dead. They only believed she was dead. Weird freak accident down at the mines, the chocolate mines or whatever, where she was lost at. But it turns out she only was believed to be dead, but then she was rescued and then led to believe that her family abandoned her to die. So as a result of which, she harbored a massive grudge towards the entire Winslow family.
Ooh.
And thus, she was trained in the art of vengeance fu.
That's amazing. But you only learn about this in season 2. Season 2 is all about Judy.
That's right.
Right, but in season 1, you're like, what's happening? Like, where is all this coming from? Season 2?
You learn.
It's Judy.
She comes back hardcore with a vengeance, starts knocking heads. They don't know what's going on. There's like messages on like walls at crime scenes like, you know what you did. You know what you did. And they're like, who knows who did? Who even wrote this? Why is it so illegible? But...
why did a bunch of goofballs on a podcast write this? So yeah, thanks, Ed. You finally got you got another chapter to your story.
That's right, just a tad.
Just a little bit. All right, so my next track. This is from the very first episode that we had with Michael Bridgewater.
Ooh.
Where we talked about Sega arcade games with Michael Bridgewater from the Forever Sound version. So I picked the staff roll from Hard Dunk, as he picked a track from Hard Dunk, which is a basketball game
about hard dunks.
Dunking hard.
Yeah.
For the arcade, I think it's the System 32, their Sega System 32, composed by Hideaki Myamoto.
Hello there. Looks like you just won the game. Congratulations. Ninja, out.
Some basketball.
I dribble now.
Dribble.
2 points, 2 points, 3 points. Everybody makes the baskets. All the shots count. We're trying to get the win. Rescue all the people and let it
4
in.
points, 5 points, 6 points. I don't know about the game of basketball.
I'm about to say there are 4-point shots in basketball.
This is the staff roll from game Hard Dunk for the Sega Arcade, composed by Hideaki Miyamoto. So yeah, that's a
lot of hard dunkage.
A lot of hard dunks going on. I mean, the soundtrack's really cool. It's got really high quality like break beats and cool sound effects, but not a lot of them. So there's actually 7 different songs, but they're really, really short, and they all kind of sound the same.
Now here's a question, though. I was trying to, off the top of my head, remember what the original track that he picked. Did the original track have vocals for some reason?
It did have a few, but not the one you're thinking of, maybe. Because there's this SNK basketball game that has We had Too Mellow on the show.
That might be the one I'm thinking about.
And it's just this guy going like, the rhythm, come on, let's go. And he was like, oh, man.
I think that's probably what it was for sure.
But yeah, I liked it a lot. So yeah, Michael Bridgewater reached out to us before he started his podcast, the Forever Sound version, just to tell us how much he appreciated the show. And I was like, yeah, do it. Do your own thing. It'd be great. I really wanted to hear another perspective from another country, from the UK perspective, because they grew up with different computer systems than we did, essentially.
And even back then, though, he let it be known that he was much more of a classics kind of guy, as in like classic computers. So when he eventually did actually start the Forever Sound version podcast, which floored both of us, that it was like, oh boy, he's doing it. We gotta check it out.
Yeah.
And we learned that this Joker had the most immaculate radio voice.
Oh, so good.
And as a guy who already is, I'm going to flat out admit it, I'm that guy who like watches BBC shows. He's like, I just like the accents. He brought it full steam ahead to the VGM podcast scene, and I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
It's never stopped. Forever Sound version. So I love hearing it.
Well, I like to, I always like to big up the Forever Sound version because, like, his format's great. Like, it's never too long, it's never too short, and he plays a lot of music back to back, and he has a lot of information about all the tracks.
And he offers porridge after every episode.
Porridge, episode porridge. I love it. A podcast porridge. And he's got different formats. There's episodes where he has friends on, and they do like he does like a mix.
Like the VGM battles?
Yeah, they do VGM battles where him and all of his friends, they get together and they drink too much and they try to pick the best track.
And I gotta tell you,
which is probably hell to edit, but
it's amazing because I gotta tell you, when I listened to those episodes, I would get into it. Like if I remember an episode where one of his friends picked a track from like one of the S&T games I like. And when it was playing, I was like, you go! That is the track to pick! And when he started giving the reason why he picked it, I was like, dang right, that's correct. You listen to that man.
So that's the upbrings, because that was the track that had the raindrop in it. The bloop. And they argued with each other. They didn't know if...
But that was the Ease. I think that was an Ease track.
That was Ease. That was the same episode. And they said that the raindrop didn't add anything musically to the song. It was just a sound effect.
And that was incorrect.
And then the other side said, no, it's rhythmic. It does add to the music. It needs to be there. So they were either no drop or pro drop.
Yes.
And I'm still firmly on pro drop.
As you should be, because pro drop is where it's at. And there's actually versions of it on older consoles where the drop didn't exist, and you can clearly tell the difference. That drop made a huge, wonderful difference.
I liked it. And also, so Michael was on our show, I guess about 3 weeks ago. So if you want to go back a few episodes, it was really, really great. We talked a lot about Super Bomberman and how we thought
croquet mallet.
His favorite power-ups, the croquet mallet.
And
we're definitely playing Super Bomberman this weekend.
And I gotta give Ashley, we might have to recreate this just for the heck of it, because last weekend I was at a friend's house and we were hanging out, and this friend, his wife, has a thing for collecting vintage trading cards, which I love, especially because that usually means she's sometimes like, hey, Pernell, want this pack of Garbage Pail Kids from 1987 that I found? Like, yes. But while we were hanging out, she decided it'd be fun to grab an old piece of gum from one of those packs of cards, and that one of us should eat it. I didn't want it. So I decided, no. But as I tend to get lately, I like the idea of competition. It's like, okay, well, if there's gum on the line, we got to make this competitive. We got to pick a game. Loser eats the gum. So I just kind of, on a whim, suggested Super Bomberman 2 on the Super Nintendo. And my friend didn't realize what he was getting into. Said, yeah, let's do that one.
Yep.
And I schooled him.
Schooled
him hardcore.
And I saw that video of him trying to eat that piece of gum.
It was disgusting.
It was a rock.
And I happen to have an extra piece, so it might factor in.
I don't know about that. I think I'm gonna get a bunch of cupcakes with our, like, I don't know, our show name on it or something.
Loser eats the cupcake, which means we're going to be just fighting to throw the match.
Yeah, we'll just eat the cupcakes. All right, our next track, Pernell, what's you got?
All right, so it's funny that we mentioned Ed from VG Embassy on your last pick, because my next pick is actually episode 4-1, all the fours, which originally aired on 6/27/16, and that episode is a hallmark for multiple reasons. One, it is probably one of, if not the first, truly ridiculous topic that we'd ever done on the show.
That's true.
Like we would do things like, just generic, like general concepts and work with those, but we never outright were just like, let's just choose this weird concept and figure it out. But all the fours was it. And the idea was solely it has to be something related to the number 4. Period. Now, this was also a hallmark because just like how earlier you mentioned that Ed kind of reached out to us after that Family Matters clip and was like, we gotta communicate. We ended up actually having him and Mike Levy on the show. At the time, they were doing Pixel Tunes Radio.
That's right.
And they were our guests on the show, and it was a fantastic time. And we came up with these ridiculous tracks. We kind of formed a bond at that point. We've been in touch with all those guys ever since. It's been great.
It really brings home that if you want to not be successful, but if you want to do something that people will start to take notice of, you need to make friends in the community. You need to reach out, and because if you don't, people are most likely not going to know about it. So if you reach out, like that's how you build a network. That's how you do it. Find other people who are into the same thing, and then just start building from there.
Yeah, it honestly just helps. And even if you're not trying to build a network, it's just nice to note that the world's not so small after all. Maybe that extension of yourself to say, hey, man, I like games. Do you like games too?
Right, yeah. And now we've run into them multiple times at Too Many Games in Philadelphia. We've seen them a few times up in Connecticut at Retro World. Yeah, which is cool. I mean, it's a drive, but it's not the longest drive for us by far.
And it's a beautiful drive during the right time of year.
That is true. We didn't go this year, but we will be seeing them at MagFest this year next year.
It will be a jam.
So what's the track?
So this was a good excuse to pull a track from this game, which I intended to get on the show sooner than this, but the track that I would have picked for that episode will come up on that episode later. This is All the Fours. So this track will be from stage 4-1 from the game Blazing Chrome. And the composer, which I didn't realize until I looked it up.
Oh, yes.
Dominic Nidmark, my recent favorite guy from the DYA games that he's been doing a lot of stuff for. So
it's really good.
Enjoy this banger of a beat. Welcome back. You're listening to the theme for stage 4-1 from the game Blazing Chrome. It's created by Dominic Nidmark, and this track was picked as a continuum of the All the Fours topic from episode 4-1.
I love this. This is my favorite track of the episode. Hands down. This is the best.
But we've got like half the show to go.
I don't care. I don't care. This is so good.
Well, I'm not. I'm glad to have
I love the it's like it's emotional and it's kind of 80s, and I love that. I love the crunchy sound. I think they did it like on a Yamaha, like old YM, like 2151 or something.
This track is a gem. The entire OST is glorious, and the game is a banger. Especially riding. It's worth even bringing it up now because we very recently had the release of that Contra Road Corps game. Because as we all know, Blazing Chrome, well, you might not all know this, but Blazing Chrome was made to be like, hey, do you like Contra? Well, here's something that's inspired by Contra.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, get a load of this. Exactly. And then around shortly after this game came out, we got word that a new Contra was on the way and it was going to be great. And it turned out to be a 3D Contra, which I personally don't have an opinion on. I hadn't played it so much. Actually, I haven't played it at all. I've only seen footage. But the general consensus everywhere I've gone, whether it be like professional outlets to like wacky outlets like Jim Sterling, it's just been not well received at all.
Oh, that's a shame.
And as a result, the game, I'm waiting for it to go on like hyper discount. I'll try it when it does that, because I know what's going to happen, so I'll try it then.
Never go on HyperDuck discount.
HyperDuck discount,
Yeah.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
knowing that game...
It looks awesome. It looks so good that I would be bad at it.
What, this or the
This
other
game,
one?
this game. Yeah,
Yeah,
Blazing
this game.
Chrome. I'm going to be terrible at it.
Hey, you used to play Contra, didn't you?
Yeah, I was not good at it.
Oh, there it is.
Very bad at
And
it.
there is no 30 live code here, so woof.
Yes.
But-
But they're like, you can like save on each different stages, right?
No. It's...
Come on.
I've never beat it, so I can't tell you if there's like an extra 5th stage or 6th stage or whatever, but I know you can pick between the first 4 levels. I'm going to wager there's a 5th level. There has to be. There normally is an extra level once you beat the original 4, but I've never beaten all 4 in one sitting. But I'm sure if I sat down and actually focused, because I don't do that anymore. If I sat down and focused, I could easily pull it off, but I have not done that yet.
Man.
But I love this game. It's a lot of fun. The music is great.
Music is very good.
The weapons are cool, and I like that it has that feel like how Contra 3 did it, where you can pick up weapons, and once you grab them, they're in your inventory. You can switch between them at will, and
That's
you don't
good.
lose it until you die.
That's very like Gunstar Heroes also, where it's like you're not like picking one up and losing something forever. You kind of, Gunstar Heroes, like you picked up stuff and then you can kind of combine the different elements to do different things with it. This is
just a gold game.
another game I was really bad at.
Was Gunstar Heroes.
Gunstar Heroes. Oh my gosh! I remember it was in high school. I got that at a flea market, and I was like, oh, I never heard about this game. It's supposed to be really good. And I loved it, and then I found it again, and so I had a second copy because I figured it was rare.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, it was treasure.
I still almost made this same dumb joke, and I didn't. Thank you. And I've lost both forever, so that's okay. But I was like, I'm about to hang on to both. Maybe one day it'll be worth something. All right, so I'm gonna turn down this track because we got some more memories to get back into.
19 diggity
Yes.
shit.
So this one came to us from. I think the rest are just stuff that I found. All right, so this one, I think you'll like this one.
Well, a lot of people, like you said earlier, I think a lot of people, they were like, I can't pinpoint a specific moment.
Yeah.
Because I like stuff.
Well, one that came up a lot, which we'll play at the end of the episode, and we'll play at the end of this one because we actually did it recently. People really enjoyed it. But this one is from 7-9, where we talked about Super Sentai games.
Ooh.
And I thought it was very. I thought this was very funny. I mean, it wasn't. It's anyway. You'll just listen to it and you like it.
You like? I don't know yet.
So we're talking about the Go-Go Power Rangers, which I thought it was later because the Power Rangers were a thing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I thought it was later because the Power Rangers were a thing, right?
No, I mean, what Power Rangers? I thought the topic was Super Hentai episode
No,
games.
it's Super Sentai, pronounced Sentai.
Well,
Super.
all right, cut. I got no.
Damn it, Purnell.
Hold on.
Is that why we couldn't get a hold of you earlier?
Just a bit.
You were doing research.
Too much research. Study. But, okay.
Don't touch anything.
But, okay, I think I can roll with this. So what is the actual topic name?
Okay, we're doing Super Sentai.
Okay, much better. Super Hentai games.
That one was good. I think we talked about that before you showed up. We're like, I got an idea, bro. And this one is a short one from 5-4. This is a Mega Man episode. I think this is our Battle Network episode.
And for the record, I'm about to say, because I know for a fact, I do want to do that battle, the robot bosses battle again. But we got to get judges and all that.
Yeah, that'd be good. Actually, that's a great idea because there's so many Mega Man games.
Mm-hmm.
But this is from 5-4 Mega Man Battle Network. Listening through the soundtrack, I would hear that theme through all these other songs. Is it gonna loop again? Here it is. I am Mega Man. Oh, I am Mega Man. Oh.
He's like, I want you to know my name is Mega Man.
I am Mega Man. Girl, I am Mega Man.
If you don't know my name yet, I feel sorry for all of you.
It's so it sounds really lyrical. So yeah, that was that.
Mega Man, he wants you to know his name.
We do a lot of singing on this show
Because it's fun. Like, I swear, there was a period in my life where I was terrified to have people hear me sing. Like, I'm not going to go out there and tell people I should get a record deal. I am a masterful lyricist. But what I will say is that singing is fun. And typically people aren't on the upper crust of singing talent. And I'm not saying that as a slight. I'm saying that as to mean that if you're afraid of your inability to sing, well, guess what? 90% of the people around you are just as bad at it as you are, but it still feels fun to do it. It just feels like a release, and that's why karaoke is really awesome.
Yeah, because like even if you're like terrible at it, like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter if you're good.
Yeah.
It just matters that you're doing it and everyone is sharing in that experience.
Exactly.
And
it's a fun time.
We haven't done it in a long time. We should do that again.
We have round 1 now, so it's technically easier than ever.
I know, but it's too private. You know what I mean? Like we just talked. Like the way I think about it, it's like you're supposed to do it in front of strangers.
Oh, yeah, but that's fun too. But I mean, get a group of friends together, the joy is still there. As long as you're not like, now I can see if you're getting the room by yourself and you're just like, la, next song.
I just want the room by myself.
Yeah, that's a problem. But if you go with your friends, it's still good.
All right, so my last track is from, I think this is the second episode we had Chris Baines on the show. We had Chris Baines on our show 4 times.
Really?
He is a Rhythm and Pixels all-star.
He is an awesome dude.
He first came on the show with...
It was with Matt.
With Matt.
The Rare Candy.
Yeah, with Matt from Rare Candy, and then he came on again as just Chris Baines music, because at that point he was kind of establishing his own kind of production studio.
Uh-huh.
And he is incredibly talented.
Yes, he is.
And we played a track from... we did the whole episode was on shmups, and he played a track from Caldrius?
Oh, Caldrius Blaze?
Caldrius Blaze. I think I typed that wrong, but also said it incorrectly. Caldrius Blaze. And I forgot, like, that's right. That has a really, really cool soundtrack. So I picked another track from that game. This is The Valley of Salvation, composed by Yoshimi Kudo for the game Caldrius Blaze.
I can't complain about hearing more Caldrius Blaze.
Yeah, it's good. This is Valley of Salvation from the game Caldrius Blaze, composed by Yoshimi Kudo. And I picked this from our second episode with Chris Baines, where we talked about shmups. Now, I don't know if my headphones are not plugged in or I'm just stuffed up in the head.
Maybe a little bit of column A,
a little bit of
column B. But this was an excellent choice from an excellent game, I gotta say. I am a genuine fan of Caldrius Blaze, and I think we played it together when we did that the Extra Life stream that we tried at one point.
We did, yeah. We played a bunch of shoot 'em up games. We played was it R-Type?
I definitely wasn't R-Type. I don't have that.
It was something. That was Darius.
We played Darius.
We played Darius, and yeah, we played this for all because I was like, oh, I want to play these shoot 'em ups that I haven't I've seen on like the PlayStation Store, but never got a chance to play.
Yeah, and I actually ended up importing a physical copy of this from PlayAsia, and I think it's a fantastic shooter. I think the only thing that's goofy about it, but it actually just makes me laugh at how absurd is the whole shame break system.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's kind of put me off on the game. I'm like, oh,
but it's so stupid.
That's so stupid. It's kind of like unfortunate that they kind of went down the I guess the fan service route, but like really specific fan service.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's too bad. But anyway, good memories of having Chris Baines on the show. He's so like engaging. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's very, very into everything. Like we talk about games, he's very engaged.
We talk about sashimi. He's very into sashimi.
Yeah, and just he's really into the music. Like, and he knows.
We talk about interstellar colliders. That guy is on point.
We talk about water.
Oh,
Really into water.
he should be. We need it to live.
Talk about ecological studies. He's really into that.
Geomes.
Talk about the political spectrum.
That's right. I like blue
Yeah.
and lavender.
Talk about the color spectrum. He's really into. Chris Baines is into a lot of things. He's a Renaissance man.
That's right.
Yeah.
And one day I'm going to get him to do the East cover that I want.
Do you think we'll see him at MagFest too?
I hope so, man.
so.
I haven't seen him in a bit. Miss that guy. He's a wacky gent. Always friendly. He's always, whenever you see him, he always brings a positive air to the room when
like
I'm
that.
around him. Like, he's never been that guy. I was like, man, what's he doing? It's always like, oh, Chris is here.
Yeah,
Come over here and talk.
That really comes across like when we're just talking to him on the show. So if you haven't done it yet, and you're kind of like looking back into our past episodes, check out the episodes with Chris Baines and download those and give those a listen. They're really good music, really good discussion, and he's really friendly, really good guy, and an incredible musician.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, we always play a lot of his music at the end of the episodes, and some other episodes that he's not on. We play some of his music too.
Yes.
And it's so good. So yeah, definitely check that out. All right, Pernell, what's your final track?
All right, so I'd be remiss. I mean, for all the crazy topics and stuff that we've picked, obviously the topic that's going to be one of the most near and dear to my heart is one of our basic ones, which is indie games. Because I'm a sucker for, well, not even a sucker, I have grown to really appreciate indie games, especially over the last like 10 years or so. They've really just exploded, and I play them more than any mass-produced game at this point. And that's before the review stuff.
Yeah, it's nice to know. It's nice to see that whole industry get bigger and bigger and bigger. Where I don't know if you can call it indie games anymore.
Yeah,
but it's just not. It's not Sony making the game. It's not a team of like hundreds. It's like a team of 10 or a team of 20 or a team of 3.
It sort of blurs, and then a lot of times you'll have large-scale publishers trying to pass a game as an indie game, and an indie game company's not trying to pass their game as a large-scale game. So it's a weird dance.
Or it's a lot of times I think it's the indie games they just want to get distribution. You know, they need to get like published. Like they need to get somewhere, so they get with a larger publisher, and then so like it doesn't look like it's an indie title, but like it is. Devolver Digital is a great publisher. When you see their name attached to something, like everyone pays attention now because they back games that are just off the wall, inventive, weird,
and they themselves
are almost always great,
just like them.
Yeah, and just like them, just like them.
Such a company.
There's a documentary on YouTube about the creators of Hotline Miami.
Really?
And how they created the game, like where it all came from, and how Devolver had to like prove to them that like we're not like any other studio. Like we want to support you and let you do your own crazy thing because your crazy thing is what we want to publish. And so they actually flew them out. I think they're from Russia, so they actually flew them to the States and they had to show them around. Like, look, it's just us. It's just like 3 of us. Like, we want to do this right.
And they did.
It's a short documentary. I think it was produced by Red Bull. So check that out. So your track is?
This track is from a game that, well, I'll get into it in a second. I probably even brought up in the show in the past, but the track is a fantastic one. It comes from a game called Y2K, a postmodern RPG.
Yes.
And it's called Vella Wild Groove, composed by Andrew Allinson and Jose Alfaro. Welcome back. You just listened to the Vella Wild Groove from the game Y2K, or I like to call it YiiK, postmodern RPG composed by Andrew Allinson and Jose Alfaro. So this track is, well, first I'll talk about the track, then I'll talk about other stuff.
This track's amazing.
Yeah, I love this track
good.
so much.
It's emotional.
So the OST ranges everywhere from blah to holy cow, this is fantastic. This is definitely one of the tracks that I personally feel, and you seem to agree, is on the right side of the spectrum.
Very good.
And that it's just good. But what makes it doubly good and why I like this so much in game is that it takes place. So the game has a lot of weird themes to it, and one element to it that was weird but also cool is that every once in a while you have to go inside of the quote-unquote mind dungeon of characters in your party. And in this case, you have to go inside the mind of the character Vella Wild. And when you are there, you are pretty much running around in her brain, and it starts out in a sort of like a bar/nightclub room.
Yeah.
And there's a band that's supposed to be playing on stage, but all of the members of the band are missing, and you need to find them so that the show can go on. And fun fact, there is actually a cameo on this scene in regards to 2064 read-only memories. Oh, sorry, no, sorry. I was right about that too. There's a cameo from that game, and there's a cameo from that bar game called Valhalla.
Yes.
Because the bartender is working at the bar, and the little robot from 2064 is at the bar hanging out.
Oh, cool.
But as you run around in this mind dungeon looking for the members of the band, it turns out that each member of the band is a version of her. And when you find them and bring them back to the stage, the song updates to include the sounds from that member of the band.
Oh, that's great. So is this like people slowly coming together?
Yeah, like the saxophone isn't there at first. Like the horn isn't there. It's usually just a do-dick-do, do-dick-do. And then when the horn comes, it's like...
Oh, that's great.
And then the do-do-do-do. And they get that person in there. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's great. I love it. The game itself has gotten a lot of mixed beats. So when it came out, it was a game that I had been anticipating for years. Like, I couldn't wait for this game. It's inspired by Earthbound. It's weird. It's got action, combat, everything. So I was itching for it to come out, and I looked into a review code for the game too, so it was even better. And as I played it, I was highly torn in certain ways. Like, it definitely had a sense of the Titus effect. I've coined it.
Yep, that main character that just whines, and you're like, I don't think I like this guy.
But he's supposed to be written that way, I guess. So I guess I'll give him a little bit of slack for the game, for the perspective of the story. But as a person, God, this dude sucks.
Sure.
But it had that certain elements of the combat kind of would drag because, it's like every time you do an action, you got to do action combo buttons and stuff, and that can get old depending on how long the battles took. But despite a lot of stuff that I didn't like about the game, I like the music. I like the world that it's set up. I like the enemy designs. I just liked a lot of general stuff about it. So when it came time to talk it up, I'm like, what is your take on the game? And I was like, well, this is one of those stuff where I'm really glad I don't give scores. So I'm like, I don't want to sit there and say, this game is terrible. But what I will say is that I enjoyed these elements and I dislike these elements. If you feel as though you like these things and dislike these things too, you should give it a try. But I can't give it a solid push.
Yeah, it seems like the things you liked and disliked, they were so far on different spectrums of things that it's like, if you could overlook this, then you're going to love this. And if this doesn't mean a whole lot to you, then this is going to feel a whole lot worse. So, at that point, it's so subjective. Like, there's no reason to give a score.
Exactly. Yeah. I hate scores in games.
It's cool. I love a lot of this music. Looking at the soundtrack, it's got a lot of composers on it. Toby Fox is on it from Undertale.
He did one of the battle themes, and that battle theme is swank.
Hiroki Kakuta is on this.
Yeah, I don't know what he did on it, though, but I'm genuinely curious to actually get it labeled as to which tracks were his.
A Chipocrit.
I didn't know that was.
That's cool. So yeah, and Ken Coda Snyder. So it's got a pretty amazing list of composers on the soundtrack, and it's very long. So it's almost 100 tracks. So there's a little something for everybody on there. Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
There's genuinely a lot of good music on it too. Right, that is not blowing smoke.
So before we get into our bonus round, we got just a couple more memories.
Ooh.
All right. So the first one is every once in a while I do some extra production for the show, and when I was working from home, I did a lot more. And so that was this one. So the honorable mention, the one I didn't cut from, is because there's so much of it, was when we had the VGM Jukebox on the show, and I did a remix of their theme song, and we did skits with them.
That was fun.
We did so much. And then I was remembering a conversation we had with them, but I couldn't find it, and it was because we were on their show.
Oh.
And so I didn't put that clip on our show, but it was when we talked about what was the origin of the phrase "balls to the wall," and we talked about it for way too long.
What, did you find that clip?
No, that was from their show. No. But this one is this is a special opening I did for the Glitch episode.
Ooh.
So if you remember, we wanted to do our episodes go to 10, so it's always like a world to episode 10. And then in World 12, we really wanted to do 12 by 12.
Yes.
So in between, we did 12 by Glitch instead of 11. So this is the only one that isn't like really numbered correctly on the podcast. So this is the opening I did for 12-Glitch, which I think is a lot of fun.
Ready?
Go. Welcome to Rhythm and Pixels. Pernell, what did you do?
Hey, what? I did what he now?
There's something wrong with the show.
Wrong show is, or if we jizz? I like the fact that
okay,
I did not
let me take the cartridge out.
Either.
I remember you just showed up.
Let me just blow on it, okay? All right, here we go. Let me try that again.
Ready?
God.
Well, they always said that makes it worse, so I don't know why you tried.
All right, let me try it from the mixtape side.
Rusted the pin, bro.
Oh gosh, come on.
That was great.
All right, let me try this one more time. Okay, here we go. Wait, this is the wrong show.
No, this is the right show. We put that
I
back.
love the Power Glove.
I put this in for no reason.
It's so bad.
Are we watching a movie?
Should we be?
Yeah, well, just keep your power gloves off her, pal.
Wonder Years, what's going on? What?
You made this. This is not the Wonder Years. I made that.
You're doing the dang Wonder Years and messing with me.
You know, I'm just called Fred. I just call my good friend Freddie Savage.
Fredwardo Savage.
Yeah, I remember I put that together and you didn't know. That was a live streamed episode too.
Really?
Yeah, that was one of our first live streamed episodes.
That was gold. Like, what the heck is this? He was like, I don't know. It's like, you know what it is. You did it.
I was just playing. I was just having fun.
I was just joshing you, man.
I was just joshing. All right, and then our last one is actually from a really recent episode. This is from our Halloween episode this year, which is episode 20-7.
Oh.
That four people said they really wanted to hear it. This is right before the bonus round part of our last episode.
Oh God! What a horror-themed episode! I'm going to pick the least horror-based track I can find.
Pernell is from Silent Hill. It's a scary game.
The dog all along, flicking some levers.
This is the ending, the dog's ending from Silent Hill 2. So I'm going to turn the barks down, and we're going to get into the part of the show that we call the bonus round.
Bonus round. Oh crap! I did have one more. Whoops.
That's true. Anyway, it's not time for the bonus round.
I'll go back. Bonus round.
Yeah, the bonus round's the part of the show where we play covers and remixes based on our theme. And wait a minute,
get that dog out of here! Get him out! He's over.
That's covers and remixes on our theme, and our theme this week. Well, it's Halloween, so we're going to be playing some Halloween kind of oriented. Oh, wait a minute!
I'm going to kill this animal. I'm going to kill it. It works.
Right, so on our bonus round, we are going to pick some Halloween themed covers and arrangements. Pernell, what's your first track?
Don't you do it. Leave that damn dog off. Leave him off.
You do it.
This.
You're like waiting for me to do it.
This track. This from submitted by a listener to keep your fingers away from it. The dude. This is from the band The Megas, which we're fans of here in the studio.
Fantastic. This is a great pick.
And the track title is called Bloody Tears. I believe it's from the Belmonts EP album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like they call it like the Belmonts mixtape when he was on the show. It's really cool. All right.
It sounds like a Christmas jingle too. That's the.
Oh, I love that so much. That made me laugh so much. That was on a live stream episode too.
And honestly,
Yeah.
I'm kind of watching it now because it would be something you'd do. Just have it queued up right the heck now.
No, I don't have it anywhere. No, like I was.
Return from beyond the grave. The dog.
No, that's one thing I wish I should have started when we started doing the show was because when I put the episodes on iTunes or Spotify, it's actually a lower bit rate, and I wish I had been saving a much cleaner version of every episode so that I can, or all of my project files so that I can
For a
just
while,
go back.
but you did. Oh, you were keeping like MP3s of them.
Yeah, I keep all of those, but I don't keep the actual project files. So music we play on the show, unless I've saved it for myself, gone forever. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's one and done. It's fine. It can live out there on its own.
I do think it's kind of cool that this officially counts as our clip show.
Yeah,
There's a Rhythm and Pixels clip show.
Oh man, the 200th episode clip show.
That's right.
Even though we still play new music. Anyway, we are at the bonus round part of our show where we play covers and remixes. And my final track, this is... Oh, good, I got it here. My final track, this is from when we had Jamal Ephraim.
He's a great dude.
He came on to talk about Kingdom Hearts because Kingdom Hearts 3 had just came out. Kingdom Hearts 3 had just come out this year.
I still need to play that darn game through too. Just the momentum shut down.
Yeah, it's the kind of game where it's like it's fun, but if you lose the momentum, you forget why you were having fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd almost put a clip of him on the show, but it would have been too long. Where we ask him about the plot, and I've never met anybody who knows the plot of Kingdom Hearts so well.
He was killing it.
And
explain it to us.
And it went on for like 15, 20 minutes. And I was like, wow, this game is crazy. Crazy. So I picked a remix of, actually it's an arrangement cover of the Kingdom Hearts 3 theme song, which was originally by Skrillex and Utada Hikaru. Thank you. And this one is by DJ CUTMAN, T. Lopes from Sonic Mania, you might remember him, and Adriana Figueroa.
Should I take a leap? Should I take a leap? What a bittersweet. All my life. Let me face my fears. Oh, let me face my fears. Won't be long, I'm almost here. Watch me cry. Nothing to face. This is what I choose. Could you walk in my shoes? All our lives. Let me face my fears. Oh, let me face my fears. Won't be long, I'm almost here. Watch me cry all night. me face, let me face, let me face my fears. Oh, let me face, let me face, let me face my fears. Won't be long, I'm almost here. Watch me cry all my tears. Let me face, let me face, let me face my fears. Let me face, let me face, let me face my fears. Won't be long, I'm almost here. Watch me cry, oh my dears.
That was Face My Fears from Kingdom Hearts 3, composed by Hitada Hikaru and Skrillex. This was arranged and remixed by DJ CUTMAN, T. Lopes, and Adriana Figueroa.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah,
viola.
really good, really chill. I've really enjoyed his music, and he's nearby, but I've never met him.
Who?
DJ CUTMAN?
Didn't he move to Cali?
No, he's still in Philly.
I didn't know that.
No, yeah.
I met him one time, and it was completely unexpected. And then he became big, and I was like, "Well, I'll never see you again." Like, oh yes, we crashed at the same apartment at a party.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we should. I mean, we're kind of like circling, in the same. Like we're in the
same pool.
We're in the music, so I think that's one thing we should get in touch with him.
He'd probably be a cool conversation too, because his image when he comes up on the internet, he always seems like a very pleasant and friendly guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like all of his live streams and stuff that he does about music production, I really like that. He for a long time he was really trying to champion music education and music production education, like how to do things well, how to do things right. And I don't think it was good for him economically, so he stopped. But that's fine. But yeah, I think it's still really good that he wanted to do it anyway.
It was the fact that he attempted it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so what's your bonus round?
So I was trying to come up with what a good bonus round track would be, and I was being really challenged here, because not just for a bonus, but because to pick a topic that would go well with a bonus. It was a tough pairing, but I came across one at D-Day 0 hour. It was a surprising pick.
Yeah.
So the topic that I chose from the episode was 18-8, the dinner party.
Oh, that was fun.
I chose it because I was really hungry. And also, it was, like you said, it was a lot of fun picking tracks for the episode.
Yeah, that was a great topic, too. Music for the dinner party.
It was aired on June 17th, 2019. Now, the remix, it's not really a remix so much as no, it's still kind of a remix. So there is a track from Parappa the Rapper 2 where the rap master rapping with Parappa he's like an old bearded guy. He works at a burger joint. And apparently a guy that goes by Smooth for Life decided to do a rap of this, do a redo of this entire rap.
So he's doing it all.
He does the whole thing. And it's really, really good.
All right.
So this is Toasty Buns, the S4L vocal remix, done by Smooth for Life from the game Parappa the Rapper 2.
Extra, read all about it. Smooth for Life, man, about to hit you with the knowledge. So if you really want to know how to cook a burger, then open up your ears and listen further. First step, you gotta cut. I'm talking about the lettuce, just slice it like you finna play tennis. Next step, you gotta heat. You better heat. Turning up the grill and do it to the beat. Let me see you show your skill. Then toast, just toast. Toast up the buns. Add a little butter just to sweeten up the fun. Now cook, that's right. Cook up the meat. Add in some spice. Now we bring it back. So cut it real nice. I ain't talking about no slicing and dice. After that, you gotta heat it up and make it real hot. If you don't, I'ma put you on the spot. That's right, now toast. Okay, do you want white or wheat? Sour bread or dough? Keep the heat on low, then cook before you put it on the bun. But you know I like my patty well done. Grab a plate, that's right. All it really takes is one taste. But you gotta keep it on pace. And never let the food go to waste. No way. Cut the lettuce. Heat the grill. You better heat the grill. Toast the bun. Do it right. Cook the patty. And make it well done. Serve the drink. What's your favorite? Melt the cheese. Make it real nice. French the fries. That's right. Sweep the floor. Gotta keep it clean now. Cut the lettuce. Heat the grill. And then you heat the grill. toast the bun. You better toast the bread, cook the patty. Make it well done now. Serve the drink. What's your favorite soda? Melt the cheese. Make it real smooth. French the fries. That's right. Sweep the floor. Okay, when we cook the burgers, we gotta do it right. I ain't gotta lie, I can make you dance with one bite. Every day and night, get you feeling high like a kite. And all it really takes is one try, that's right. Cook them burgers, turn the patty over. Get some fries with a side of soda. Gotta add the ketchup, don't forget the cheese. When you add the pepper, don't forget to sneeze. You can get the mustard, add a little cream. If you want it hot, I'll cook it with the steam. Add some extra onions, you can add tomatoes. But if you haven't tried, mix the ketchup with the mayo. Cook them burgers, turn the patty over. Get some fries with a side of soda. Gotta add the ketchup, don't forget the cheese. When you add the pepper, don't forget to sneeze. You can get the mustard, add a little cream. If you want it hot, I'll cook it with the steam. Add some extra onions, you can add tomatoes. But if you haven't tried, mix the ketchup with the mayo. Cut the lettuce, heat the grill, toast the bun, cook the patty, and make it well done now. Serve the drink. What's your favorite soda? Melt the cheese. Melt that cheese. French the fries. French those fries. Sweep the floor. Gotta keep it clean now.
Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. Now go serve those burgers right now.
All right, I'm off to a good start.
Go serve those burgers.
Dude, that was good.
Isn't it?
That was great.
And I gotta tell you, like, it makes me think that even though I won't give it say it's a direct reasoning, I won't deny, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a subconscious inspiration to why like I'll like do like my goofy songs when it's like I'll be at the grocery store, like go to get groceries, gotta get the stuff off the shelf. You know what I mean? Put it in your cart going down the aisle 1 9 to 5, gotta get home on time.
You do that a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
I
just do that.
I just rap about things I'm doing.
Oh, I love
and
it.
that's the opinion. That's pretty much what Parappa the rapper is. He's just rapping about stuff he's doing the whole game. Like, gotta go to the bathroom. Where's the toilet bowl? Oh no, the door's locked. I gotta go. No, that's the game.
Yeah, he's like selling stuff at a flea market. Like, it's a whole song. Like,
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like,
it.
before that game, I wouldn't have thought. I don't think I would have thought like, I should just rap about what I'm doing right now. But I like the fact that this guy just he cleaned up the sound.
Mm-hmm.
He removed the Parappa parts, not because they're bad, but because they genuinely do kind of break the flow a bit from the actual rap master of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while he kind of threw in like a bit of what Parappa's sound would have been like when they cook the patties, gotta cook the patties. That would have been like the Parappa part.
Yeah.
But it's just, it works. I loved this. And the thing, I originally was looking for tracks for Burger Time. Because I was like thinking about Burger Time Party, which recently came out, and I was like, well, we better ever remix the Burger Time theme. And I found like one track out of the many that I actually liked, but I was like, this is too short. And I just kept looking, because I was like, wait a minute, what the heck? Someone did the Beard Burgers theme? Oh man! And it was
That's
I was
really
like, this
good.
is really good.
I need to make a quick run. So for more information on the bonus round part of our show, go to rhythmandpixels.com, and we'll have links to their Bandcamps and SoundClouds and everywhere where you can get the music and support the artists.
Gotta make a run. Gotta make it fast. Rob will be back after these messages.
All right, thanks for listening to episode 20-8 of Rhythm and Pixels, 200th episode. What did we call it earlier? The 200th episode?
Clip show. We have our own clip show now. That's a bucket list item to check off right there. Never would have thought.
That's right.
But I'm glad it happened.
I know, I'll forget it. So we're ending on the remix I did of the bar theme from Front Mission, composed by Yoko Shimomura. And this was the theme song used by the VGM Jukebox. Well, my remix of the theme song they used for the VGM Jukebox.
That was such a good show.
Yeah, really
hosted
enjoyed
by
their
great
show.
people too.
Great people, yeah. Emily is Keyglyph is out there. She's doing a lot of stuff on Twitch. She does once a week. She does Apple IIe classic gaming, and then 2 other days she does like No Man's Sky, and she plays some other stuff.
That game, talk about redemption stories. Woof.
Oh yes,
that game went from being like the laughing stock to an actually decent, fun, good game. Though folks that would include Emily would likely say that the game was always good. In which case, for them, it would be a good game that was made infinitely times better.
Definitely. But yeah, Keyglyph was also on the last Legacy Music Hour episode, which they was Puzzle Games 3.
Oh.
They're like 250 episodes in, and they're finally done Puzzle Games 3, which is awesome.
I'm not sure how that format usually goes, but it sounds they typically do a lot of like genre-based episodes themselves. Or?
Yeah, once they stopped doing that once they started going to doing episodes once a month. Mm-hmm. So now it's just like wacky stuff, and they just play whatever they want. But every once in a while, they do themed episodes like that. So
I'm glad they went back to puzzle games because that is a sweet spot for jams, honestly.
But anyway, thanks to everyone for listening to the show. The day before this episode is released, we did a video game live stream, which is going to be on a Sunday. So you have missed that. But if you go to twitch.tv/RhythmandPixels, the replay should be there if you want to like kind of look through and see what we're up to. And that's going to be a lot of fun.
We'll be yutzing and putzing.
And then coming up soon is our anniversary episode. So we're going to be doing a live stream of recording of that episode where we're going to go back and pick our favorite tracks from the year. From the past year only.
Not the past 4. Not new tracks onto old like today.
Yeah, and then we'll be going into our 5th year of Rhythm and Pixels.
It's amazing.
But if you would like to get in contact with us, if you'd like to say hello, if you would like to recommend tracks or topics, please send us an email.
RhythmandPixels@hotmail.com. And yes, we read those emails.
We do read all of those emails. We get a lot of spam, but we do get a lot of good emails too. And yes, I'm still using Hotmail.
So it works.
No judgments. And if you'd like more information about our show, if you'd like track listings from all of the episodes and access to everything else that we're doing, please go to the website.
RhythmandPixels.com.
And you can see us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. It's Rhythm and Pixels, all one word. You go to youtube.com/rhythmandpixels, and you can check out all of our episodes there. And we also have a 24/7 radio live stream playing 8-bit and 16-bit classics. That is not stopping.
It's a Jimmy Jam.
Hasn't been updated in a while.
We got a remedy.
I'll probably get around to changing that pretty soon, but that's been cleaned up a little. The video's been cleaned up a little bit. And if you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/rhythmandpixels. And there you get access to a monthly live stream recording where we do one episode and have you come on the show. Not you don't come on the show, but you come on the stream and we end up talking to you while we record anyway. And it's a lot of fun.
And honestly, even if it's not just us, because it's not just us, everyone in the chat itself actually ends up conversing too, and it ends up just being like a nice little party.
Yeah, like we'll have like topics, discussion topics, and everyone sort of like kind of chimes in on it. We also like to thank all of our Patreon members at the end of every episode, and we have quite a few. So we want to thank that Nick Walker, that guy. He's been solid. Mike Myers. We want to thank new Patreon, but new/old friend, Daniel Lawton. Thank you very much. Phantom Jest, thank you so much. Steve Miller, thank you. The Autistic Gamer 89, thank you. Cameron Werma, thank you. Christopher Shenstrom, thank you. Bobby Arson from One Up Funk, thank you. Wicked Sephiroth, thank you. OK Impala, thank you. Kung Fu Carlito from the Heroes 3 podcast, thank you. I think we're going to do a podcast together. It was supposed to be anime theme songs.
Yeah, I want to do that. When he brought that up, I was like, I want in.
That's all you, because I don't know any anime.
I know a lot of anime.
Michael Bridgewater from the Forever Sound Version podcast. Brian Pitt. Chris Murray.
Of the Chris Murray podcast.
And also a new subscriber, but an old friend and an old guest on the show, Bruce Irons from the Mad Gear Band. We want to thank Ed Wilson from the VG Embassy, Alexander Proudfoot, Davy Cakes, I like saying that name, The Dude, The Last Rican, Bedroth, Jupiter Jazz, Solus Sanctuary, John Jekyll, Damian Beckles, Joe Vasallo, Chris Steenerson, Alex the Messenger, patron saint of all video game music podcasts, and host of his own video game music podcast, Alex Messenger Presents. So check that out.
VGM Journey, right?
It's a VGM Journey, and it's good. It's very, very good. So check that out on iTunes and on Spotify. He is working it out. And also, finally, thank you to David/Daniel/Daryl/Darren Smith.
That's a lot of D.
It took me about 4 months to learn your name.
All of them.
And now that I've done this, I'm going to forget.
Every.
Anyway, thank you all very, very much for your continued support of the show. I'm not sure if next week's going to be our anniversary show because we have Thanksgivings coming up. We also have
The horrors of Black Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday. We have Ed Wilson from the VG Embassy. He'll be coming on the show soon, and we'll be doing other stuff with him too. So there's a lot of stuff up in the air. So, but it's coming soon. We'll make sure that that is advertised well in advance
And hopefully edible.
and edible. Yeah, I'm gonna order a cake for this thing. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. I want to put our pictures on it. But my voice is going. I don't know why. So I'm hoping I'm not getting sick. But thanks for listening.
Yeah, don't get sick.
I know. Thanks for listening to the show, Rhythm and Pixels, for this long.
Because
Okay,
I saw him getting everyone at work sick.
I gotta tell you. When I was going through the files of the episodes, trying to find some of these clips, it started to weird me out how many hours of footage I have of just you and me talking.
Fun.
It's hours.
That's what a podcast is.
Over 300 hours.
That's a podcast, baby.
Wild. It's wild. I was like, wow, I'm on a lot of these things.
Like I said, you say, think of it like this,
Yeah,
okay?
that's
You
crazy.
say that, but by that same token, just like I said months and months and months ago, it blows my mind that people tune in to listen to this every week and they enjoy it. I'm appreciative and thankful, but I'm just as shocked today as I was on episode 1. And I'll state that for a bona fide fact.
Well, thank you all so much for listening.
It's so appreciated.
We do appreciate it. We're going to keep going for another 205, and then it's over.
just to mooch off of an already existing property. Robin Brunel, 500 episodes, more episodes.
That's right.
Yeah, with the chicken nuggets.
I mean, we might
stuff.
change formats. We might become, we might have comedians on the show.
We might have Legos.
Yeah, it'd be the Lego cast.
Yeah, we'll just build stuff throughout the recording.
We'll change things around. No, we're probably
I still want to do an episode where we eat spicy stuff, just to kind of. They stole my idea, man.
I can't.
It was my idea.
I'm going to tell you right now, the amount of mucus and saliva sounds coming out of my mouth right now is nothing compared to what would happen. I think that'd be better on video.
Worth it. No, worth it.
Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. I'm Rob Nichols.
And I'm Purnell.
Have a safe week.
And remember, bonus, we just did a clip show. Clip shows are a television staple. They're ridiculous. Usually meant to just kind of pad airtime without having to come up with new material. Thankfully, we didn't do that. But that doesn't mean that when you have your own mental clip show, which you should have on occasion, doesn't mean your footage has to be new. Just has to be memorable and something worth reflecting on to help you realize that your life is actually pretty freaking sweet. You've had some great memories worth experiencing over and over again, despite the also possibly not so great stuff that was there. But screw that stuff. It's all about the cool options, the video games you beat, the sandwiches you ate, the times you rode a bike and then didn't ride a bike. There's a lot of stuff, and you should always remember and reflect on it. Don't let it get washed away by whatever potential negativity could just kind of envelop you. Remember the good stuff, especially utilize it to help you get through the rough stuff. It's a fantastic tool that we were given. We should use it. I'll stop rambling. Ride a bike.